So, Renee here. Um, I know I got my little head wrap on because I just finished washing my hair. And before I fix my hair so I can run out to go pick up my kids, um, while I was on my way into the shower to go wash my hair, I got a message in my spirit that I needed to touch on the actual roles of financial responsibility. Okay? Because yeah, it's great that we're gonna do awesome. We are focusing our mindset. We're gonna have a money mindset. We're not gonna be disrespecting our money. We're not gonna be living in a state of I wish I had, or when I have, or I'm going to have. We're living in the present. We have it. It's now. Because it's coming, we know it's coming. Our faith is there, right? But it may not come as fast if you're, yes, of course, if your mindset isn't in the right place. But let's delve a little deeper on that. Let's think about if you have something to give a friend or your child and you get it for them. You spent your hard-earned money. You spent your time. You worked hard for this money. Not that we're going to keep working hard for money, because our easy money is coming. We already know that. But then you give it to them and you see it being squandered, not treated good. Are you going to be so quick to give it to them again? No. If you kept giving money to, let's bring it back to roots. Let's say there's someone in your neighborhood where you work, wherever it is, and you see that they are homeless or constantly in need of money. And, you find it in your heart to give them a few dollars or buy them something to eat, But when you give them the money, next thing you know, you see them going to go buy alcohol. Or you see them going to go buy drugs. They are now not that seed that you sowed into them with your money. They are now putting it in the wrong direction. Their mind was not ready to be in possession of that money. They were not mentally able to process having and what to do with this money to be better, to move forward. Okay? So while we're sitting here and we're focusing and shifting our minds into having a money mindset, and I know it's coming, I am worthy of this money, I'm not going to have to work hard for this money is going to come easily to me, all of our mantras that we do, all of our affirmations that we know are coming. But there's a caveat. If and when God, the universe, again, whoever your belief system is, whenever they're ready to give you that money, they're going to reflect on if you're in a place mentally where you can handle that level of abundance, where you can handle that level of richness. Okay? Because let's look at people who constantly say they don't have money or want money, and they're getting some. At the very least, at tax time, most people are getting back that money, okay? We in tax time right now. And all of a sudden, they don't have no money. They're still living the same life. They're still living broke. They're still just like, damn, I wish I could afford to buy some McDonald's. They're still saying, oh man, I wish I could move out the hood. They're saying all these things. But you just had that money. Why you didn't build something with it? Instead, they spent it on sneakers. Instead, they spent it on clothes. Instead, they got a new phone. When all their phones and their sneakers and their clothes, they were fine. They didn't need that stuff. But their mind was not ready to receive that money. Okay? And if you're just going to get the richness and get the abundance and get the money just so you can squander it off on whatever, you're not going to use it to better yourself. You're not going to use it to better your family, to better the people in the situations around you. You're not using it to help anybody. You're not saying, when I have this money, I can use this, and if this is your forte, I can tithe into my church and really tithe into their message of giving and making things better. You're not saying, I want to start a program. You're not saying, hey, I want to bless my sister or my cousin so that they can live better because, they're struggling and they're having a hard time. You're not focusing on using your money for the better. You're focusing on using your money selfishly. You are focusing on using your money just to give your status an appearance while not really bringing your status anywhere. You can look like you have money all you want, but that's a poor mentality. That mentality is for poor people. When you look at the richest people in the world, they're not running around buying the hottest new Jordans and the hottest new Nikes and all of that stuff every second. They're not replacing their phone to the newest model every second. You know when they do that? When the old one wears out. Once the old one wears out and requires replacement, then they replace it. And that is how you build up your wealth. Okay? You cannot build up wealth by constantly trying to stay in fashion, by constantly trying to stay in style. You cannot build up your wealth that way. That's not how we do it. You will never be ready to accumulate the wealth you want and the abundance you want if that's how you're going to continue thinking. It's not going to work. So, to be ready to have what you're seeking for in your life, to be ready to really get to where you want to be, you have to ask yourself some questions. Do I know how to budget effectively? Do I know how to be responsible when I have the money? Do I know where to put it so that it can grow? These are top questions that you need to ask yourself. And if your answer to any of those is no, then best believe you better get to learning, okay? You have to learn how to budget effectively. You can't say, okay, I got this much money. Let's say you got you make $1,000 a month. And from that 1,000, you have to pay your rent, right? Now I'm talking this really unrealistically because nobody has rent this. What I'm about to say, I'm just being real. This is just an example. Don't take it as law. We ain't living no place that costs this cheap. But let's say out of that 1,000, you have $100 phone bill. You have $500 rent. So that's $600 out right there. Then you got your light bill. That's another $100. That's $700 out right there. You also have to buy food and groceries for the month. It's very possible that might be your other $300, depending on family size or what you eat. But just for sake of argument, let's say $200 for a month, $100 every 2 weeks. Now, that only leaves you with $100. You realize that, right? And once you only have that $100, what are you going to do with it? You just took care of all your bills, all your finances. Are you going to run out and use that $100 to buy some sneakers? Are you going to say, darn, I don't have the money for sneakers because sneakers cost $150, so instead I'm going to slack on buying food, or instead I'm going to slack on part of my phone bill. I'm going to be a little bit late on my electric bill, my rent, whatever it is. I'm not going to pay back Tommy the money I owe him so I can get these sneakers. All of that is irresponsible. None of that is going to get you where you need to go. 1 second, y'all. I just got to dismiss this on my screen. Go away. That's not showing being responsible. That is not showing that you are ready to build wealth. That's showing that when you get this money, it's going to be gone like this. It's not going to last for you. It's not going to go nowhere. Nothing will have become of it. You're going to turn around. You're going to look and say, well, wow, that was fun. Well, back to wondering where I'm getting this money from. And that's not what it's supposed to be. Once you're stepping into that wealth and abundance, you need to be putting it in places where it's going to grow. Places where it's going to keep on coming back. Where it's going to say, yes, you know what? You respected the fact that I came here. You respected having me so much that you helped me grow into so much more. You didn't just plant the seed and leave there and say, look, I still have a seed. You didn't just take the seed and eat the seed and now say, dang, well, where am I going to eat next? You have to be the servant, just like it said in the Bible. You have to be the servant that plants the seed and tends to the seed and makes it grow into something else, into more, and then sell and profit off of the fruits of that labor so that you have more and more seeds. So you can plant more and more trees so it can grow into more and more things. And that, people, my friends, is how you build that generational wealth that you are looking for, that you are striving to create, that you're like, oh my gosh, this is where I need to be in life. I am good. My fam is good. My kids are good. My grandkids are good. The great grandkids that I ain't never gonna meet are good. That's where that comes from. That's where we need to be, but you will never get there if you're in the mind state of when you get money, you got to blow it on the material stuff. You have to know budgeting. You must know budgeting and be able to budget fruitfully. You have to know where to put your money. And where to put your money doesn't always mean as far as like, oh, I'm going to go invest in stocks. Oh, I'm going to go do this. No, as long as you're putting your money someplace where it will grow and not necessarily in a savings account, because even money in a savings account is only going to grow very minimally, just to be real. You have to think, what can I do now to turn this $100 into $200? And turn that $200 into $400, and that $400 into $800, and they'll keep on growing, and you keep on doing it like that. Okay? Because once it starts to grow, like I already said, it just keeps going. It's like a wheel, it keeps turning, and it's running and rolling down that hill, and it's going to pick up speed, and it's going to keep on going, and it's going to keep on gathering things up as it goes, and that is the life that we want to live. Okay? This is where we want to be. You cannot, I'm going to repeat again, you cannot just go around and spend the money just because you have it. And if that's what you're going to do, the money is not going to come to you. You have to have the right mindset and the right mentality to be able to handle having these finances. Okay? It can't just be you're going to buy the hottest stuff. And that is what I needed to say before I went to get my kids and did my hair. I know usually my videos are longer. I know usually I talk for another 7 or 8 minutes, but my spirit has released that message. It doesn't have anything more to put to it. You guys can let me know in the comments if you'd like any clarification, any more in depth about it. You can reach out. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to talk. I love you guys, and you know that. But that is what was put on my spirit, and I will not ramble on going in circles, being redundant, because there's no more to it. But if you'd like more, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, if this helped you, if you want to hear more real talk about just how to reach the life you want, like the video, subscribe. Hey, hopefully I see you next time. In fact, no, not hopefully. I know I'm going to see you next time, okay? So, love you guys. Bye.